Hey, and welcome back to Flipper Flicks. I'm Tim,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Sam.
Woo!
and here we have our very unprofessional reviews. Lost my train of thought.
It's all good. It's all good. It happens to the best of
You can
us.
find us here weekly.
Here we are on
Eastern
Discord, not
Standard
Discord.
Time. We have a great video.
This is a great
movie
episode
for you this week. Yeah, great episode. I can't even remember the Swept Away. Swept Away on Crackle.
Yes.
It's a fantastic film. But
Number
we'll get
one.
into that in here in a little
Film
bit.
number one.
Film number one. Also, spoiler alert, but it really doesn't matter.
Spoiler alert. There's a
Sam, tell them about it.
Let's hear the synopsis.
Okay.
And since it's on Crackle.
I feel like we should defend the fact that we said spoiler alert, that it really doesn't matter, because it really does not matter. Normally we tell you,
Yeah.
you should go watch this, and I can't really even say with high hopes that you should go watch this
Like last
movie.
episode, we did Okja, and we were like, spoiler alert, do not watch our episode unless it, which by the way, we forgot to give you the ratings for that one. That one was an 86% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an 81% on audience. Ooh.
Yeah, what's this one?
Yeah, Sam, what's this one? Let's go straight into. We go 86, 81
And
on
then
Rotten
we
Tomatoes.
have 5% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
and 28% from the audience. 28. And then Google, who all these people are off their rocker, because they put 68. And I mean, I feel like we're easily entertained, but there's no way in hell I would ever rate this above like a
I don't know why. I thought it was an
spoiler
amazing
alert
film.
for the end of the episode. But let's talk about what this movie's about and really
Why does
get
it
into
crackle?
why it sucks.
Why does it
bad.
crackle, Sam?
So it crackles because it's a must-see historical oddity. Guy
Whatever
Ritchie's.
that means.
It means that it's a historical oddity. Like, it's
Okay.
not something that happens very often, and it's just odd for the times. It's Guy Ritchie's one and only rom-com, and, you know, Guy Ritchie, I really love ya, but please don't make any more rom-coms.
I mean, he hasn't since 2002.
So hopefully he learned his lesson.
I think he has.
And the real synopsis, which the last time I read a synopsis on Crackle for Monster Trucks, it was pretty lengthy. Well, Crackle decided this only deserves one sentence, a max of 2 sentences for why it crackles in the regular synopsis. And, you know, I think it's pretty accurate. A spoiled socialite is marooned on a deserted island with a sailor who cannot stand her. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think that we should chat about
What do you want to
why
dive
we
into
picked
first?
this. Because
Okay, yeah.
it was an award-winning film, or why I picked it. Lols.
When she says we, it's she.
So I picked it because I was looking for a Raspberry Award winner, you know, like a really terrible movie, and it was also a rom-com. And so good old me thought, like, oh, hey, we'll do a rom-com. I'll make these guys watch it. It'll be fun because, like, it'll probably still be entertaining, but it won't be horribly awful. And I regret everything. And I understand why it won so many Razzies. So let's get into that. This film won a lot of awards.
5 of them.
Yeah, 5. The film swept. It swept.
Huh.
Classic.
It swept the Golden Raspberry Awards of 2003, winning 5 of its 7 nominations. So
Which doesn't make sense, because sweeping would mean they got all 7.
that is true. But also, they should have gotten all 7. But I don't know what the other nominations were for. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say they should have gotten those. Anywho, you were robbed, Guy Ritchie. You deserved 2 more awards. Winning 2 of its 7 nominations, including Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst Actress. Sorry about it. Madonna's in this movie.
Madonna.
Which you thought would be a reason to watch it. Me, personally.
Really?
Because, I mean, I'm not really a Madonna fan, but I was interested in seeing how she acts. And boy, does she act!
You know this is her last feature film ever?
Yeah. She, again,
Wait.
deserved.
Wait, hold up. Which one was Madonna?
Sarcasm, right?
No, was it the actual girl? Like the
Yeah,
main girl?
that's Madonna.
All right. Yep.
Yep.
Did not recognize her at all. I didn't even realize that she was supposed to be in the film.
Oh, gosh. So at the time, well, actually, Tim, did you watch the trailer?
Of course not.
So we watched it after we watched the movie.
Oh, that was probably a good idea.
Yeah, because it's not all. It's just a bad trailer.
Now I feel like I need to watch the trailer.
Yes, you do.
Well, and it was back at that time, like 20 years ago. But not even. But
18.
No, it was at the
2002.
time.
It wasn't even like.
It wasn't even 20.
It felt like it was from like 1990. I don't know.
Yes.
Like the whole movie.
It honestly felt so old.
So this one.
But the trailer has the voiceover. Remember that was popular when we were kids? It'd be like,
in a world.
Yeah. The whole trailer's like that.
The whole trailer is like that.
And like you think, I have a special part in my heart for those trailers.
Heart in your heart.
Heart in my heart.
Heart of my heart.
Because, like, that's what we grew up with, right? We were used to, like, the inner world. And I used to think that, like, maybe it was just for kids' movies or, like, action movies. Oh, no. Even Swept Away got the inner world guy, which...
It was mostly for action films, I felt like.
Apparently not. So, anywho, Madonna sucks in this movie. Shocker.
Madonna, also known as Guy Ritchie's wife at the time.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into that in a second. But there's more to be said about the Razzies, which you thought that I was done, but I'm not. The film itself would later win 2 more awards. Worst Drama of the Razzie Foundation's first 25 years. It won it in 2000.
Drama?
Yeah. It is a drama.
I thought it was supposed to be a rom-com.
I think it falls. I also will fight that it is called a rom-com.
Where was the com?
Where was the rom?
Where was any of it, honestly?
What? Was this actually a movie? Or did I just watch? I don't know what I watched.
Or just, it's not even like it's a really long Madonna music video.
Which I expected it to be.
It was like a guy made a movie about his wife walking up and down a ship, and then her incompetence. Does that sum it up?
Yeah, but...
Did I miss anything?
Yeah. If you had one word to describe her, what would it be?
She's a bitch.
Tim?
Just entitled, yeah. Which... Yep.
Yeah, I think I wrote bitch down like 5 or 6 times on my piece of paper.
So, yeah, she's entitled and high maintenance. That would be if we were trying to be nice.
Yeah, no.
But we're not. She doesn't deserve our niceties.
She doesn't deserve it.
And the other award, to get back to that, and then we'll get into the meat of this thing. The other award it won was the worst picture of the decade in 2010. In 2010, 7 years after the movie, it's 8 years after the movie, it was still winning awards for how terrible it was. So, let's talk about how terrible it was, guys.
All right. Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the people, like when they're on the boat, or do you want to go straight to the island?
Let's start about on the boat because I have some thoughts on the boat. Tim?
Okay. Which parts of the boat? Are you talking about the people on the boat?
A lot. I'm just gonna roll into my thoughts. We'll go from there. So the opening scene sets it up as a typical romance. I think it had that weird like uppity music, right? Like beep boop bop beep. I mean that's not what it sounded like.
Just like beep boop bop beep.
I have comments about the music, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the opening scene had like a bunch of like jazzy, like typical rom-com-y music. So it sets it up well. I think in that part, that was the one scene that had the romance. And it just keeps cutting to scenes of couples and food.
Couples and food.
It's just like, couple, glass of wine, grapes. Couple, glass of wine,
Madonna's butt.
There might have been Madonna's butt.
No, they straight up at one point,
at the opening scene?
Not in the opening scene.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I haven't gotten
just
there.
later on, you see her butt.
Yeah. Okay, anywho. And then after the opening scene, when they first, premise, they're on vacation. That's pretty much all Guy Ritchie gives you. They're on vacation and it's a couple of different couples. And then they rented this yacht, right? And so they board the yacht and already Miss Buttface is what I'm going to call her for the rest of the episode. Madonna's character.
I bet you can't even name what her real name is.
I have no idea.
Do they say her name that much?
Not until the end.
Not until the end.
I didn't know her name until like 3/4 of the way through.
I
didn't know anybody's name except for Pepe.
Yeah.
That's not even his real name. What's his real name?
For the first 15 minutes.
His real name is Giuseppe.
Yes.
Yeah, but he says call me Pepe.
He does. Which Sam is like, who the fuck is Pepe?
No, I knew because she would refer to him as Pepe
Pee-pee.
or Pee-pee.
No, she would only refer to him as Pee-pee and Guido.
But I was like, yeah. And I was like, why is she calling him Like, but the other people would call him Pepe. And I'm like, why are they calling him Pepe? He fucking said his name was Giuseppe. But apparently I missed the part where he said his name is also Pepe. But, I mean, the whole time they're, like, basically ridiculing this poor little fella. It made me upset. I was like, bro has done nothing. Which, at the beginning, they board the boat, and she asked where the gym is. And, like, girl, have you seen the size of the boat?
Yeah, the boat wasn't big.
It would not have a gym. Like, I'm sorry.
She said that, and I was like, what? Is this boat bigger than I thought it was? Or, like, I don't understand.
Is it gonna go through some sort of stretching situation?
Honestly, they had more gym equipment than I expected.
Yes, well, that's what I was gonna say. And so, Pepe brings back this, like, little gym from, like, the 80s. Like, it's just, like, a bike. But it looks real rough. Real old. Yeah. And he's just like, here you go. And, of course, the first time we see her just, like, launch off about how upset she is. And it's like, what did you expect? And then, good old Pepe decides, you know what? It's okay. I brought you a jump rope, too, just in case.
Jump rope.
You jump. And then he tells her how to use it. Like, she hasn't used a jump rope.
You can jump.
Well, he already hated her, so.
Yeah, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
He was trying to mess with her there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I will say, I did enjoy how he would keep going back and complain to the crew. She's so, she's such a bitch.
Yes. Well, that's the other thing. The kitchen staff, okay, so they obviously had, like, a captain who was basically saying, like, oh, just smile, it'll be whatever. But the kitchen staff was my favorite. They were, like, super jazzed. At one point, he, like, burst in, and they're like, ah, and, like, jumping around and being stupid. So they're great. But then my other thing was he's all like, I'm going to kill that fucking bitch or whatever. I'm going to kill him with a kitchen knife. And then they they all they just put the knives over. Like, there you go. So clearly everyone understands how difficult she is. I can't even fathom it.
What would you say your favorite line she said while still on the boat?
I think there were a lot of lines. But
that you love.
There was one that I really, really
She's searching. I'll say mine real quick. You don't need eyes to bake a cake.
Yes.
Which I will say there is a woman who won MasterChef who was blind. So technically she was not wrong, but that definitely wasn't what she was trying to say.
No, she was talking about what, like poor people or something?
She was talking about something that actually is going on right now, like pharmaceutical companies overpricing goods, and he's like, shouldn't anybody who's blind be able to buy the product? And she's like, that's not how capitalism works.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically saying she doesn't have to be responsible to anyone.
As long as there's a demand. She was like, if they can't afford it, they can still bake a cake. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and particularly what's great about that line is that throughout the rest of the movie, like, it keeps coming back up. So, like...
Yeah, it's not like they drop that line.
Yeah, when Giuseppe gets, like, really, like, she basically riles into him because, like, the fish is bad, which, who cares? But anywho, they're on the boat.
The fresh fish is not fresh.
Yeah, it's not good enough for her.
Yeah, the one he literally just caught.
She sees him carrying it out, and this isn't fresh.
Yeah, and then...
Just trying to not laugh. You might have wanted to space out your lines. 2 pages worth of notes for this film.
No, I'm just rereading it because it's so great. Okay, so the fish is bad. So then he imagines himself doing something drastic, which is just great. So he pours the fish on her head, and then he goes, now you can make the cakes. Wait,
no, she screamed, oh my god, I'm blind now. And then he's like, well, now you can make your cakes.
Now you can make your cakes. And he's like, it doesn't look so bad now, does it? And he tosses her overboard, and that was so great.
If you pay, like, when he tossed her overboard, it was definitely just like a doll.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, it's just this still thing moving through the air.
She doesn't do her own stunts. It's okay.
It's okay. My other favorite quote was, and I forget the context of this, but I think it was Buttface who said it. And she goes, where would we all be if we just did things whenever we wanted? And then somebody goes, on vacation. They're just like, do her friends even like her? I don't think so.
No,
None of the friends liked each other. The guys are got along, it seemed.
The guys were good. They were all friends. Poor Debbie, Elizabeth Banks.
Oh my gosh.
Right? That was my favorite character.
She just wanted to have fun.
Right, and they just played it really heavy-handed that she was a dumb blonde.
I know.
It's
the old school.
But they kept going with it, and it's like, holy shit. But she ended up being my favorite character.
Yeah.
Because there weren't any good ones.
Yeah, that's true.
True, but she also was a much better actor than everyone else.
Clearly, she continues on, and she's the only one that really does anything after this film, besides Guy Ritchie.
That's true. But remember, that just took me back to the good old days of Elizabeth Banks. I mean, she has good old days now, but when she first came on the scene when she was in 40-Year-Old Virgin, she was also a dumb blonde like that.
Yeah.
And so...
But it wasn't
that.
It was different and played out, and that it wasn't so forced and heavy-handed. It was, I don't know.
She was supposed to be drunk in that one.
That's true.
You don't, she's drunk in 40-Year-Old Virgin. In this one, she's just a dumb blonde. And I was like, early 2000s at their best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Tim, you got any favorite lines?
I have a comment, though, because I forgot. I do not have any favorite lines. Most of what I wrote down was if I was sitting there watching the movie with you and I made a comment, I was like, I gotta write that down.
Yes, I was doing the same.
Literally, at the very beginning, I had my TV on normal volume, then I usually have anything on, and that music comes on. I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know if that was a crackle thing.
There's no way. I don't think so, because that music was loud, and then they go to talk, and I'm like, I was like, I'm sorry, did you speak? I have no idea what you said. I had to rewind and then turn on captions for this, because I was like, I can't hear anything. It doesn't even matter.
We just decided to piss off our neighbors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guarantee I did. Because I'd be watching it, and then all of a sudden some trashy music would come on, really loud, and I'm like, now I gotta turn the thing down, and it's not even loud, but I can tell it sounds like I'm having a party in a really shitty party.
I assumed it was all gonna be Madonna's music too. It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you did bring this up, because I don't think anybody can really fathom it unless they can watch it themselves, because we
got up, got down, got up, got down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the same thing. We were like, oh, is it Crackle? Or maybe it's just the...
No, it's definitely that movie.
Yeah, the way we had it. But then later on, when they get marooned on the island and they do that whole
montage scene. That was the longest montage ever.
Oh my god, yes.
It was so long, but also I think our floor was shaking from the music. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not turning it down again.
Otherwise we couldn't hear them otherwise.
Yeah. It was nuts, man.
All right, before we get too far away from the quotes, I got to say a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I got something from the very beginning, too, but you keep going.
Harry Black Midget.
Oh, yeah, she does.
She called him that. So I Googled it, and don't Google that.
Why would I Google that?
Because I was like, is that I thought it was something against Italians or something, because they kept saying Guido. Nope, it didn't make any sense. He wasn't black. He was hairy, and he wasn't... That's a tiny person.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just the type of person she is. But I'm sure you have more of her little
she's straight up. Yeah.
Well, no, I got some of Giuseppe's lines here.
Oh, okay.
From now on, fishes is the plural form of fishes.
I have that too.
Oh yeah.
So good.
I can feast on you for a week.
Ew.
Yeah.
And then there was one point. Oh shit! What was it? Oh, she says something like, "Ew, keep that reptile away from me," as he's holding a fish. Are we being punished because we're rich?
Classic.
Yeah.
And then, you wish I was a girl. Phrasing? Because she pauses there. And she's like, you wish I was a girl. Younger and blah, blah, blah. But she does this awkward pause. And I just was like, phrasing? We still doing that?
Oh my God.
So yeah, I wrote down quite a few quotes.
Well, before we segue to the island, the last point I have about the boat is easily 75% of the shots on the boat are just Madonna walking down the side of the deck in some sort of black outfit. So a black jumpsuit, a black shirt, a black dress with an open back. And all she keeps doing is just walking. That's it.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
there's music and sometimes there's not. And that's like the majority of, I don't know, the first half of the movie. How long were they on the boat? For too long.
I
Yeah,
do
about
not
30
know.
minutes, I think, at least.
They
30
were
to 40
hating
minutes.
each other for all but like maybe 15 minutes, it felt like.
Well, it was
Yeah.
definitely past 30 minutes because I had a full page at 37 minutes, and that's towards the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
That was bonkers. Okay, Tim, you said you had a point. What's your point? Go.
Oh, so early on, when they're like catching their rides and stuff,
Mhm.
did you guys notice that one of the drivers had no pants?
No.
No. What?
Yeah. So very early on, when they're catching their rides to like the plane and stuff, I don't remember it's when they got off or when they're going to it. I think it's when they got off.
Like, was he in a
The
Speedo?
driver is smiling. He has a hat on. He has like a nice jacket on and no pants.
Oh my god.
Just some like white, like what looked like boxers or something.
Well,
And
yeah.
I was like, interesting.
This is Italia? Is it Italian life, I guess?
I'm telling you, I don't even think they were shorts. I think they were straight up just like, let's throw that in there. It'll be funny. The driver doesn't have pants. I just was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I just had
This
that
is what
point to
movie
make
it's
it
gonna
funny.
be.
All right.
Yeah.
So at like one point in the movie, I legitimately wrote down, this is before they were like out of the boat. Because I think they were like, it was 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, 60 minutes in. They finally get on the tiny boat to go out to, like, before they get stranded.
Yeah.
I literally wrote down, what is the point of this movie? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had that written down too, basically. I was like,
I
where's
don't
the plot? What's
understand
the
it.
point?
Like they
Yeah.
weren't like doing like I don't know. I just did not get this movie.
Well, because they weren't falling in love at that point, right? Which a
Right.
typical rom-com would. Or you would at least have like a sever between her and her husband,
Mhm.
which was not happening
Mhm.
either.
Mhm.
Or you could have even been like, oh, let's show some scenes where they don't look like they hate each other, but they didn't do that.
Right.
No, I
Why
know.
did they do that?
Except for that one scene where he was staring at her when she came upstairs. And I was like, okay, they're going to say something and we're going to start seeing some sparks. Nope,
Not at all.
not at
The
all.
only scene that they weren't very abrasive to each other was when she was drunk and she stumbled out of the party.
I
Yes.
know.
And, like, she stopped him in the hallway. That's the only time that she was, like, not rude or anything to him.
I know.
And I was like, okay. Is
Uh,
He
this
was-
the love part or what? But I
yeah.
don't know.
and when we were talking, she was mean to everybody though, like including her husband.
Oh, they all were.
I know, but like, so the husband comes up in that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was the name of the person, Sam?
Errol Flynn. She's like, who are you trying to be? Errol Flynn? Don't know who that is.
What?
So we Googled him and we're like, how does that outfit scream Errol Flynn? Because Errol Flynn, like everything we saw of him was wearing like suits and stuff. So,
Yeah.
hey, you people out on Twitter and Instagram, if you understand that reference, can you please explain it to us? Because we don't.
Yeah, because I searched for like a solid 2 minutes, which
Mhm.
is a long time for Googling. It's usually the first response.
Well, I think one person's like, "Are you trying to be a native?" Well, Hawaiian shirt is Hawaiian, not Italian or Greek,
Maybe Errol Flynn was Italian?
maybe. And then somebody was like, "Oh, you look like your Popeye," and I was like,
Oh,
"How
yeah, I
does
remember
that look like Popeye?"
Yeah, that was confusing
Yeah.
too.
Like, what?
So I just want to say, like, who wrote the script for this?
I don't know. I didn't look
I don't think
it
there was one.
I think they
were
kinda
like,
just-
we're gonna film this.
This
and
is
you're
all
gonna do
ad-libbing.
stuff.
Oh, so this is what would happen if we did a movie.
No, ours would be funny. The comedy would definitely come
I don't
out.
know. Maybe they thought theirs would be funny too.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe Guy Ritchie is super proud of this.
He's not.
Okay.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
He named Madonna's character Amber, by the way. That was her name.
Oh.
That's his mother's name.
Okay. Oh.
Which-
So weird.
Which I'm going to go in on this real quick. So, A, he made his wife a complete and total bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, he cast his wife in this role because apparently she was cheap and she was free at the time. Like, available.
Mhm. Yeah.
First off,
He talked about his own wife about like that.
I was like, if you ever
Yeah.
referred to me as cheap and free, I don't care under what circumstances, that would be a discussion.
But so not
Yeah.
only did he make his wife this crazy lady,
Yeah.
it's his mom's name.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
damn.
can I speak to Dr. Freud, please?
Right?
Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah,
Well, I was
pretty much. Like,
I was wondering how much of this movie might have actually been based on their marriage because
They're now divorced.
they're now divorced. But I was gonna say there was just some like weird stuff. Like not even her marriage with her actual husband who's like barely in it, right? But like I don't know, there's just such weird stuff that you'd be like, "Oh yeah, totally like that's my wife and I'm super proud that she's going to play this part."
Right. I'm so
What?
happy to put my own wife in this film.
yeah.
You would think you would want to make her at least like
Likeable.
likable. Well, I don't even know that. She would have to shine in some way, like be memorable. And like Madonna can sing, I think,
Technically.
technically speaking. And like you only get that one really weird ass scene where she has like a
Where
fish
she
in
doesn't
her
sing.
boobs and she doesn't sing. It's not even her song.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're like cha dancing. I don't even know how to
She's doing a
describe that
solo
scene.
dance.
Where she
and
just
he
keeps
is-
looking over her shoulder. That's her whole solo dance, is her just like tilting her head.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Right?
But-
all of it. All of the whole movie's bizarre.
In a bad way.
In a great way.
But before they get marooned on the island, and then we can segue there, they climb aboard the boat. This was your point a little bit further back.
God.
And
yeah.
he puts on his little star sunglasses that are missing
Yes!
a lens.
I did like those glasses.
I did too. I was like, I want some of those.
There's some respect for
Yeah.
the glasses.
And just like the way that he wears them is just great. He puts them on, doesn't give no crap, so there's no lens in one of the pieces. It's great.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else about the boat, the mini boat, I guess, the dinghy?
Oh yeah.
Do
The
it.
dinghy?
Yeah. So first of all, it was very funny watching them sit in it because you could clearly tell it had like a wire or something keeping it in place.
Oh, really?
Because every time it would move, it you could tell it was like stuck in place and it was like fake floating. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Like it was floating, but it was like a dock. Like it would move and go back.
Mm.
Like I could just that bothered me so much I just kept watching it. It's like
Tim's like, I'm gonna hop into the TV, cut your damn wire.
yeah. Like I get it's a movie, but that was irritating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was trying to figure this out. So they're on vacation. They're all sunbathing.
Mm.
So it's at least warm out at some point. But she's always like, I'm so cold. And I'm like, he's walking around in his not gym shorts, but his shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like in full like
It can
clothing.
get cold out in the sea though. Like,
I know, but it was just funny. Like they were wearing quite the opposite attires.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of how do I want to put this? Terrible stuff in this movie. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of terrible
Say it.
stuff.
What about that flare gun though?
That flare gun, where they
They
shot
could have
the.
used it immediately. How did she not realize what that gun would have been? Well, then again, her character is pretty dumb.
Yes.
No, she's smart. She talk about
Yeah, she's
capitalism.
absolutely smart. Yeah, she gets it, yo. But they could have used it right at the beginning when they found it and fired it, but then they like put it down and went back and like slept.
This is
What?
true.
Why would
Yeah.
you not use that? It's gonna work in the daytime. He would have known that. Somebody would still be able to see that.
Well, but I don't think he wanted to be rescued right away. Because if he rescued, he had to go back to being her slave.
Yeah, I could see that, but
That could be a thing.
but then they like scramble for it the next day, and
yeah.
that's when it goes off and hits the boat.
This is true. Now,
So I don't know.
how did she hurt her foot?
I don't know.
Like when they're on the island, she's walking around, and like at the beginning when they first land there, she's walking on like the rocks. I don't know. She just kept like wincing about like walking on the rocks, and I think it was just kind of like she has soft feet. She's not used to this kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, because at one point she just had her foot
And then
wrapped
she
in a
wrapped
shoe.
her foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just her one though. So
Yeah, I
was
know.
confused about that too, and she kept limping on it. Yeah.
Well, and I wonder if that was part of the montage at the beginning, one of the many deserted island montages where
Yeah.
he like goes off on his own and he's like finding a waterfall and like
That
being
was great.
resourceful. Yes, and then you just see her like struggling.
just on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about how it would take them forever to kick into the island?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I was
They would have spent like a day trying to get there.
Yeah, I was
at
like,
least.
I was on the swim team. I did kicking shit. You get tired like faster than you would expect just kicking.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that far against current? Holy
Against
crap.
the current, because there's the undertow that'll pull you back out.
Yep.
Right. Well,
And then they walk afterwards, and I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, no problem.
they don't even like lay to chill and like recuperate. But
No.
at that same scene, so they pan to the island that is clearly deserted. And she gets so excited. Like, oh, sweet. Like, there's an island. Like, paddle, paddle, paddle. And it's like, why are you paddling to get to a deserted island? And then you realize how dumb she is. That was a great sentence.
Very how dumb.
Very how dumb she is. Because
she very dumb how.
She very dumb how. Because he tells her the island's deserted, right? So they split off. They did their montages. He tells her the island's deserted. And she's like, that's not possible. And she's like, what is it, 1492?
Yeah.
Girl, there are uninhabited islands to this day.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
oh my gosh. I'll be fired up about this movie forever.
Forever fired up.
Forever fired up. The beef is insane.
Do you have an Okta farm?
I think I do. I have a farm of super pigs.
Or super cows, I guess.
Whatever. But I do have one more note when they first land on the island.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So
It's about the cigarettes that she pours out and was like, they're all wet. And I'm like, did you just swam?
Yeah. No, that wasn't it. But
No.
that's a good note because we'll come back to
Okay,
that.
you go to your note.
So they dock on the island and he's like, oh, I'm going to go look for stuff. And she's like, what? You can't leave me. Like, don't forget about me. So he goes off on his own. And then she doesn't follow him.
No.
She's like, you can't leave me. And the proper response would be if he's like, okay, I'm still going to go look, to then go follow him.
Yeah.
But
right.
she doesn't. She just goes on the struggle bus and presumably hurts her foot.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't.
Who knows? Well, she at one point has a sea urchin in hand.
Yes.
Yeah. And she like pokes it.
She pricks herself.
Yes.
Yeah. But she's already holding it.
Yeah, I know. She would be hurting from
She would have
that.
discovered much earlier that
That would hurt you.
It's touchy, hurty. Yeah.
It hurt when touch and poke. We got good English in this.
Touchy,
This
hurty.
episode is our best English episode.
Yes.
Oh, it's so
So if
good.
you're learning English, don't from us.
Yeah.
What?
How
You'll
very
learn
much?
all the very useful words like, I don't know, whatever we've talked about, sea urchins.
Like sea urchin.
So back to your cigarette note. And then I feel like I should let Tim talk because I haven't let him talk very much.
Tim's been monopolizing.
I have so much to say
It's
about
all
this
good.
movie. But at one point you do see him smoking cigarettes. And my note was, where
Right.
did those come from?
I think they were
Yeah,
in the
'cause
hut.
hers were wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Were
was
they?
like, wait,
They
how
might have
did
been in the
they-
hut.
Or did he like go regather
Maybe.
them because they really weren't wet? Like,
No, I don't
Dried
know.
them out.
yeah, like what happened? But you're right. Most likely they're from the hut because there was alcohol in there too.
Yes, there was. Apparently, that alcohol changes. The bottle changes throughout, like the scene. Like it's a different bottle
Yeah.
at one point.
Now I want to go watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you want to go rewatch this?
No, I do not want to rewatch this, especially not that scene because it's another one of those loud ass,
Oh,
terrible
God,
music
it was
scenes.
so awful.
Okay, so when they're in the hut, though, they only had candles, right? When it's all raining and everything.
Yes,
How the fuck was it that bright?
that is a great
Right.
point.
Like it looks like there was a flashlight in there, or like there's a just not giant moon window. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, sketchy.
Sketchy because it was pouring down rain, so it clearly wasn't like from the sky.
Yeah.
But I wrote down like that's a ton of light for such few candles.
Well, and the candles, I don't know. The candles looked like you would get candles for like a romantic dinner, not like
It's a rom-com.
I know, but you would think I
Just
don't
set the
know.
scene.
If somebody had candles for their random hut on this deserted island, I just find it hard to believe that it would be like rom-com candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, how do they not... Okay, so they clearly don't have, like, a bath or a shower, right? They don't... There should be sand everywhere on them.
Yes.
They should be dirty. There should be sand. How does she have makeup constantly?
Yes, and her hair is like not even
Her hair
frizzy.
is always, yeah. They looked like they just went, I don't care about continuity or anything. Just, I'm going to go get ready and then we'll film.
Well,
Yeah.
and then his hair should have
I
been
don't know.
longer.
Yeah, like
It
his
was
beard
it was
formed
they were
in.
His hair. I don't even know how long they were there.
1 month.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought they said. But like,
So
what?
we were
wouldn't
on the news
know.
for a month, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
he
his
didn't
hair
have to
says
shave.
different. He already had like the
I
neck
mean-
beard going.
Well, when it comes to like hair, you go like what, half an inch in a month, and after a certain length, I mean, some people aren't. It's not going to grow as quickly.
That's true.
That's true.
It definitely stops. So you can kind of explain that, but for the sake of this movie, no, garbage.
Just no.
Detail.
Terrible detail. She would have hairy legs,
Yeah.
most likely.
Mhm.
Well, I was gonna say
She's rich. Maybe
we'll
she
give
lasered
them.
it.
Yeah, maybe.
Lasered, yeah.
But we'll give them the
2002.
fact that their hair didn't grow because it was only a month. But they should have definitely been way more gnarly looking by the end. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
she should have had some cuts on her, or like
Chapped lips.
their
like,
outfits shouldn't have been perfect. Her hair should have been a
Clean
fucking
somehow.
mess. A mess.
yeah.
A mess.
Yeah.
Also, how did that boat not see them?
I
They're
have
just
no
lounging
idea.
on the beach. The boat's just a few hundred yards away.
You never know.
They can see the boat clearly.
Well, it was rich people not paying attention to other people.
Oh, that's true. That's
Obviously.
true.
Yeah.
Anybody else notice that he is the Italian MacGyver?
Yes.
He just
Oh,
puts
yeah.
together a crossbow harpoon sort of scenario.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, I got a few things on him.
okay, let's hear some.
Let's do
so
it.
like they're on the raft, right?
Mhm.
And he catches a minnow or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, first of all, where did that minnow come from in the middle of like this giant ocean? Like what?
He said he took hours to
I
get
feel like
it.
a little tiny fish is not gonna be like, I don't know. And then trying to catch that, I get people catch fish with their hands, but I think it was like a finger at most. There's no way he caught this little tiny minnow thing.
Especially like
And
not
then-
being in the water, right? He's like
Right.
half hanging off the raft. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
just like- it took me hours. I'm sure it did.
I believe
Uh,
days is the correct answer. And then she just throws it away.
Yeah, she just throws it.
Yeah.
But that's typical.
Classic her.
Rich
and then
people
so they get to
problems.
the island, and I just found it very odd that he found like a tire.
Yes.
I was going to write that down, and I was like,
I already have
Like,
too many
wow.
notes.
I was very shocked that he found a tire, and then the hut. Like, I don't know, the hut could. Why is there a hut? I don't
like a fully
I don't
built
know.
hut.
like.
Yeah, like the
I had
bed
to
is in
rewind
nice
because I
shape.
thought I missed a montage of him building it. And I was like really confused. And I just don't understand why there was a hut. But besides the fact that they were lazy and needed somewhere to, I don't know, stay. But yeah, that's my few comments about the island. That's what we already talked about. I just was really confused.
Well, you bring up a good point because I feel like parts of the deserted island section of the movie are out of order. So, like,
Yeah.
we have that long montage of them falling in love and, like, playing charades and whatever. Keep in
Oh,
mind, this
before
was
they fall in love.
after he, like, gets all, can
Not-
we say rapey?
we're going to have to use the word. 'Cause that's what I wrote down. Very rapey.
So,
For me, it started out as like this terrible movie, and then all of a sudden it went from that to like I wasn't sure if I should turn it off or not
yeah.
because it was like this is like a bad porno without the porn all of a sudden, and I was like, that's how the storyline felt, and he started slapping her and stuff, and I was like,
Call me master.
call me master. I was like, wait, hold up, am I watching the correct movie?
Now, I will say that when she like knocks on his door, he opens and just slaps her and then closes it. I did laugh
Yeah.
at that. I will
Well, she
say-
insulted him there.
Yeah.
I know. Do not
The
insult
proper response was to slap her,
Yes.
but
So all of this has gone down. Lots of slapping.
Lots of
Lots
slapping.
of just
sketch.
sketchy, like, things that people
Made me
don't
feel
want to watch,
really
right?
Awkward.
And then now she comes back to him, and they just like fall in love. And it's like a very
Really?
long scene, and I'm like, okay, like if this was a regular rom-com, we probably should have skipped that sketchy section, right? And moved
Yeah.
the falling in love section up. And if you wanted to keep some parts of the sketchy section, I feel like it would have made more sense after they fell in love, not before that. Because I'm sorry, but I just don't see how she'd want to be like, yeah, I'm down now. After
She's DTF.
First he was like, "You're gonna have to fall in love with me."
Yeah.
Okay.
How
is that gonna happen now? You just got each other covered in sand. That sand got everywhere. There's no way she's gonna love you now. But
Well, here's
there's
the
definitely
thing.
sand everywhere.
With this,
yeah.
with this movie, of course they're gonna fall in love, and they're gonna fall in love in the very next second.
Yeah, there was no like day
Oh,
after sort of
God.
thing. No. This is like he storms off to
Yeah,
his
it
hut.
felt like immediately.
And she's like, okay, I'm interested.
Yeah.
So during the deserted island, what would that be like? Hour 15? Like, I don't know.
I tell you, they only were in love for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say that like we paused the movie so many times just to complain about it because like during the deserted island section, because there was just so many
much
montages that didn't make sense, so much shit that didn't make sense, and it was bad, man. It was really bad before that, but then it got worse, if you can even imagine that
But yeah.
craziness.
Then they get saved, and he suddenly is able to call her. She has no idea where they're staying.
Yeah. Well, I think because they offered the hotel, because they said we got your room at our hotel.
Okay.
I think he knew because of that. But so I get the end of the movie. I have a lot of like
things to say.
I don't know, sort of, almost like redeeming qualities, but I don't think they were intentional. But go on.
Okay, so I was confused about that, and then she comes down. Like when she comes down to get the letter, who goes down into their downstairs to a lobby in their robes?
Who walks across the street in
Who
robes?
Who would walk across the street at 9 p.m. in Salzburg in their robes? Not us.
Not us.
Good question. Yeah.
That
plus one more guy.
You know, that makes this movie redeeming.
That redeemed it.
This movie almost redeems itself at the end.
Oh my gosh, man!
It's still garbage.
Oh my gosh, who walks around in robes? That's true. Gosh, crazy people. But before that, so they get back, right? And whoever that third guy is, their like business partner.
Oh, the guy that her servant
was on the boat, wasn't he?
No,
I don't think it was.
Like the guy that handed him the bag.
The
that wasn't him. He had longer hair than the guy on the boat.
Well, it had been a month.
Well, it's been a month.
I don't believe that hair grows in swept away.
All the hair growth went to him.
Yeah.
All of it went to him because that still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
No.
But anywho, he offers Pepe money to be like, "Oh, thanks" or whatever for bringing her back.
I don't take bribes.
He said that, and I was like, "Dude, take the money and run! Forget about her." It was like a bag full of money, so much money, and I was like, "Brah, you're missing out. You don't want to deal with this bitch. We know you don't."
Right, like I
thought it was funny that it was in the Italian currency of the time because I don't know if the euro was out.
Yeah.
But then later she pays him with U.S. dollar.
Really? I didn't catch that.
She gives the
$100.
Yeah, the $100.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that they were, and I thought he was going to get that $100 from the bellboy because at one point she said she was going to buy that fish for $100, and he was going to be super offended that she gave him $100 with the letter.
Well, see, that is just way too much forward thinking for this movie.
I know. I could have. I'm just adding like actual plot.
Yes.
And that didn't happen.
It makes sense.
I know.
Oh my god.
Oh my. So there's one point in time where he's crying on the phone talking to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I paused the movie and I'm like, he looks like Charlie Day.
Yeah.
He actually.
Kinda.
What?
I just said kinda.
Well, it's just this one scene that I thought this, and I think it's because there's a scene of Charlie calling somebody on a phone crying in Sunny. But
Yeah.
woof.
Well, during that scene, he is so depressed, like weeping on the phone. And I'm like, Brock, this can't have been. You work on a yacht, right? This can't have been the first time that you had an intolerable passenger. And like,
No, he doesn't work on the boat. He's a fisherman who needed extra work.
okay, well, the thought is like they're in a touristy country,
Yes.
right? Like, or just in your general day-to-day life, you can't have come into contact with someone that wasn't like intolerable in some way or like high maintenance or whatever, however you would want to describe her. That's nice. And we're just supposed to believe that he's all shook up and depressed when like 15 minutes ago on the deserted island he couldn't
be
give two
slapping
shits about
people.
her. Yeah, I was just like, no,
Sam did not like that he was sad.
do not believe.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't.
I really liked how the boat and the helicopter, like he didn't see the helicopter there. Because that bellboy just
Right.
walked down there.
Yeah. And he's
Like,
like, here
it
you
was
go.
2 feet away. That's him. You said this almost redeemed itself. How?
Yes, please tell.
How?
Please tell.
It was
I don't
the
think it was
ropes.
intentional, but it was like more of like psychological stuff. Like, so they just went through a traumatic event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all there, and I just think it shows like, so the husband tries to go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's somebody that doesn't recognize this was a traumatic event. She's back now. He's like, okay, everything can go back to normal. He recognized that something went on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can tell he kind of like, it's like, what happened between you two? But he never confronts her about it. But it's just almost like, oh, okay, so it's doing a good job of showing that there's a disconnect between somebody that doesn't understand another person's like trauma, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Or somebody else's pain. But I was like, this movie didn't mean to
It didn't mean to do
put
that.
that in there.
Once
No.
again,
This
you are
wasn't
using your
this-
brain.
Yeah, this is not. I'm thinking too hard for this movie.
Yes.
This is not this movie at all.
Yeah.
It's literally supposed to be straightforward. She's in love with the other guy. He knows, and he's pissed. But I kind of felt like it was trying to make the husband seem like a bad guy.
I
Yeah.
know, like they
Is
tried to
there
make him
something
into a
sketchy
villain.
about the husband? Because
He did nothing wrong except for
maybe he
maybe
was-
defend it. Like,
right, or maybe he was like how they were on the island, but we never saw that.
So we don't know.
So we don't know. Was he kind of like that too? He's like, "Call me your master." Like when they first started dating, and that's why
Maybe
was
she's
afraid to leave
submissive.
and go back. I don't know.
This is going to be
It
part
was
of the conversation that I do
weird.
not
Yeah, do you want me to change
want to
it?
explore. I just want to bring up the ending. Do you have anything before the ending, I should say?
No.
Okay. So, first off, the end dragged on like all things in this
Oh my
movie.
gosh.
Oh God.
And then that credit scene.
I'm getting
Oh.
there. But before you get there, you have to make it through the long ass ending. And like you and I were guessing about what would actually happen, right? And I feel like our
Right.
endings are way better than theirs. So I'm just gonna put this out there. So we thought, oh, she might put her hand against the glass and he'd run up and see her and then you'd see her go away. But at least they acknowledged that they saw each other, right? Nope, wrong.
She
Or-
also thought that he was okay.
Or I thought that maybe he might fling himself towards the helicopter and like grab onto the bottom because that would just be like the most ridiculous thing ever. But you know, so is this whole movie. That also did not happen. And then I was like, in the spirit of people flinging themselves, maybe she would see him and fling herself out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
The ending was just he watches the helicopter go away. She doesn't even see him at all. Like they don't even really see each other. And he pouts and she just like she pouts, she
They
cries.
just pout.
They pout and then he flings the ring into the water. And I just was
With
like
some really good CGI. Yeah.
so
And
good.
then the ring is just slowly falling
Yep.
throughout like the credit scene.
Yeah.
It's just falling. Honestly, that was probably the best part.
They spent all their budget on that.
Now,
They-
another redemption here is it almost makes you feel bad. It almost makes you feel sad
That's
for the
true.
two of them.
I don't.
Almost.
I
but
really
it was so
don't.
bad that it just didn't get you there.
You know how like movies and TVs, books, stories are supposed to make you feel for the characters.
Yeah, there's supposed to be an emotional connection of some kind. Yeah.
Even if it's hate, I literally have no feeling towards these people.
This whole movie was confusing and
There was no point to it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this is somebody's, like, okay, I get rom-coms, they have a place, whatever, I'll watch them, doesn't matter. But,
Sometimes.
like,
We
this
thought you were
one,
going to turn
yeah,
this one
like,
off mid-movie. We're like, he's going to be just like, I'm
pausing,
done.
does that count?
Well,
I
were
watched
the-
it
were
in
they-
sections. But,
every
I took
10
like
minutes.
5-minute breaks.
Woo!
Yeah.
Every 3 minutes, take a 5-minute break.
I'm trying to figure out the audience for this movie the whole time. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, so this was made, I'm assuming just like any other movie's made,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a target audience, and I was sitting here, I was trying to figure it out, because I was like, okay, is this marketed as like a rom-com?
Oh
'Cause it
shit!
kinda
What was
seems like it
what was the
should've
trailer
been.
like?
The trailer made it look like lighter and fluffier.
Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah.
light, fun movie.
But
Yeah,
it
which-
didn't at the same time because it shows him beating her up. I
Yeah,
think.
it shows him slapping her.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So like for a section of the trailer was like, because I tried to explain that away too. Like, oh well, maybe it was marketed as a rom com, and then you
Right.
see the trailer and you're like, nope.
It was a nothing,
Yeah.
just a nothing film.
Well, to that note, what in the actual fuck did I just watch?
Exactly.
With
I had that in
three-
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was there at 30 minutes.
I think we all arrived there at some way or another.
Because at 30 minutes, you should. I think the Hulk had more story in it than that. Like, I'm talking the original Hulk.
With the CGI dogs.
Yeah, with the creepy CGI dogs. That one had more story in it in the first 30 minutes than this whole movie. And that movie is claimed to be one of the worst.
Right. Well, I was trying to think of this in the perspective of as like The Room. Right. It's so bad that it's
Oh,
loved.
no.
And like, I didn't love any of it. I didn't like any of it. Like, I was like, I get some sort of joy out of some pretty terrible movies like Monster Trucks, but I honestly think that this one has to be the one that can't be named at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Voldemort?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to get into the characters real quick and who they are.
Okay.
So, shocker, Amber is played by Madonna.
So shocked.
I know. And Giuseppe.
Me.
And if you didn't know who Madonna was, I'm just going to skip it because you should. I think most people would know who she
Madonna
is.
But if you didn't
I
know
think
her
so.
name in the movie, that's fine. We didn't.
You know what? I didn't.
Yeah.
I only actually got it from IMDb.
Solid.
I can't remember what it was, like Lighten or something like that.
Yeah, Lighten.
Right.
Amber Lighten.
Was it really? Damn.
Those 5-minute
Oh,
breaks
salty
helped him.
that I know that.
So I suck. Anyways, next person, Giuseppe,
Mm-hmm.
also known as Pepe. Only person I think I actually know his character's name. Definitely knew his name.
From the beginning. Yeah.
From the beginning.
Everyone else, no clue.
So he's done some Italian flicks, but
Okay.
he does mostly dubbing.
Oh.
He was Eddie Brock / Venom in the movie Venom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Wow.
And another one, he was Lemony Snicket in Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events.
Dude's got a resume.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, so you're not like, you're still doing some acting, like voice acting. So good
Mhm.
for you.
Good job, Giuseppe.
Tony, who's Tony? Any guesses?
I have no idea. One of the husband.
It is the husband,
Sweet.
Bruce Greenwood.
Bruce Greenwood.
Sam, you said you think you know where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Name it.
I don't know. He just looked familiar.
Okay. So he also looks just like Sam Neill, who is Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, but they're not. They're not the same person. They do look alike, though.
That's not who I thought it was.
Oh, he's in Star Trek and iRobot,
Mm-hmm.
And
NCIS.
nothing else looked familiar.
NCIS.
Oh, maybe
That's
it was
the big
NCIS. Okay.
But yeah, I thought it was Sam Neill for a while. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I think they look alike. But, and then the only other character I wrote down is Debbie,
Which was
Elizabeth Banks,
solid.
and Hunger Games.
Best character ever.
Yeah, Sam took a quiz and she actually got Effie as what character she would be.
Statistically speaking.
Statistically
Out of, like,
speaking.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Out
be.
of like 500 characters.
Yeah, which made me
Yeah.
kind of depressed.
I like Effie.
I like Effie
You
too,
know
but
what?
that's such
Effie
a.
was awesome, yeah.
That's such
Effie's
a.
effing awesome.
That's true, but that's such a specific character because, like, I don't know.
I got Dr. John
That's for
Hammond.
a different. That's for a
I
different.
want to take
show.
this quiz.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I got Dr. John Hammond from Jurassic
I
Park.
like that, yeah.
And we will tweet.
How many do we know? Does it tell you all the list of all the characters?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and like
I did
I mean,
not.
I'm not going to go through 500 names, but
Oh, I
I'm
scrolled down.
really
It shows.
banking on.
Yeah, it gives you like the movie or the TV show they're from. Like, I'm nowhere near like Jon Snow, apparently.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I went through like the top. It was Effie, and then my second person was Leslie Nope. And then
Oh,
yes.
and it was like 89% for Effie and like 82% for Leslie.
Shoot,
I'm
who
like,
was my
great.
second
I would
one?
100% say Drunk Sam
Is
is
Leslie Nope?
Nope.
Oh,
You know what?
no!
I will agree with that.
No!
But
Oh,
only
God.
sober Leslie Nope, not drunk Leslie Nope.
I don't
Yes,
remember
exactly.
drunk
Yeah,
Leslie
not
Nope.
drunk
Oh,
Leslie.
God.
You are sober Leslie.
That is, oh my god, that's
You
very
are drunk.
true.
Oh my lord. Okay, well, what I was gonna say is that we'll also tweet this quiz for the
Yeah,
small amount of listeners that we have, so you can take it.
Our digits.
Maybe somebody else is an Effie.
So, did you know she's also in Spider-Man 2 and 3?
Yes,
And Seabiscuit?
she's in everything, dude.
She is really in
Like
everything.
she's just a random character and does a couple lines, some scenes.
This is true. So yeah, those are the only 4 characters I wrote down. But I do want to bring this up. Tim, this was a remake.
What?
There is a 1974 version of it that is highly rated.
Well, here, see, I thought this was like the next Castaway.
No.
I was like, oh man, this movie's amazing, and I loved it.
He loved every minute of it. That's why he knew her name.
It was a remake?
It was a
Of
remake.
something else?
Yes,
I
and
would
I
much
wanna-
rather have watched the remake than
So-
the original, I think.
All right, it gets even better about the original. The Adriano Giannini,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
the guy who played Giuseppe, his father, Giancarlo Giannini, was Giuseppe in the original.
Whoa.
Crazy, right? And his father actually has done a lot of work with dubbing as well for the Italian language.
Oh, nice.
I didn't write down his movies though,
The
but
family business.
it is the family business. But the original director, Lena Wertmüller,
Okay.
left the theater crying after she saw this film. She was saying, "How did they do this? Like, why did they do this to my film?
I believe it.
Why?"
Yeah.
I was like, "That is amazing." It did so poorly that in the United States that it went straight to video in the United Kingdom. So that's like a big deal because Guy Ritchie is English.
Yeah.
So like him having his movie go straight to video is like.
Kind of a.
Sorry, brah.
And Madonna was apparently like, I think the critics are just going after him because, he did so well in his first 2 movies. Because this came right after Snatch, which is apparently one of his best films.
Okay.
I've not seen it myself, but maybe in the future.
I can't believe she had the balls to defend this movie. Because,
Her
like,
last feature film.
the people that were in Cats were like, nope, don't want any of a part of it. It was an atrocity. And you just would think that that's what she would do. But nope.
Yeah. And then the working title, which I'm sure Lena, the original director, would have preferred them to use, was Love, Sex, Drugs, and Money.
Were there drugs?
Yeah, he poured the
Oh,
cocaine
the
out.
cocaine.
But
Yeah.
not enough for that to be in the title.
I know.
Oh, man.
And there's not even and then the sex parts don't even happen until maybe 20 minutes till the end.
After all the crazy parts.
Yeah.
Well, and
Or in the love too. Let's bring up that.
Well, and we saw that this was a remake, so we were like, oh, we'll go back to the original story, and maybe some of that sketchy stuff wasn't in it. Nope, it was worse in the trailer. We were like, oh shit. So
Except the one difference is that the main character, I think they actually had different names, but the girl Madonna was portraying, had a sea urchin, was actually eating it correctly.
Oh, really?
So maybe
Madonna just didn't know how.
there are parts of the original that are more redeeming.
Maybe. Well, no, the original did well.
I still have questions about the story, but anywho.
We digress. So that's all I really have for the film. Tim, you got anything? Any last comments?
Don't ever watch this movie.
We're not there yet, Tim. All right,
I
We
don't
can
care.
be there. We
I
can
don't
be
No,
there.
Tim, do you have anything?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. So collectively, would you flip this on in 3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes.
Tim
Oh,
didn't
I
even
mean,
say
no.
no. He's
No,
flipping it
yeah,
on.
Tim's flipping this on.
No, it's a no.
Yeah, it's a no. So Tim, is it worse than Monster Trucks?
You know what? This actually made the top of my list. If the top is the bottom. So yeah, it's worse than obviously worse than Monster Trucks.
Yeah, this is my bottom
By
as
a
well.
long shot. This will be the bottom of the list probably for a very, very long time.
Which is hilarious because we said that about Monster Trucks, and well, we dethroned it.
It took 3 episodes. Oh, it took a whole 3 episodes.
But this one, like, is one that you're like, it can't get worse, can it? And then it, you know.
And it just keeps going, and it just keeps going.
So,
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, all right, it really can't get much worse besides like a Tommy Wiseau film or something. But
And those are just hilarious.
I still
'cause they're
enjoy
Tommy
those
Wiseau.
though. Like,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Those are still hilarious to watch with how bad they are.
They are. So, do you think we can beat it next week? And how terrible this was?
No, I
Oh,
think
God,
it's
it
going to be
depends on the
around for a
category,
while.
but
All right,
I don't think I'm not gonna put us through another terrible movie like that. I don't think.
on purpose.
Uh,
Unless you
Well,
get
this
pick 3.
wasn't on purpose, guys.
that's true. Well, that's true.
Because sometimes, like,
I could have told you though, looking at the screen, reading the one-line synopsis, seeing Madonna's head as the picture, and seeing it was from 2002 and it looked like it was from 1990, that it probably wasn't going to be the best film. But
Well, I knew it was going to be bad, especially because we knew
Right.
it won the Razzies.
you expected to laugh a little bit and stuff though. Like you expected like something.
I was
from it,
laughing because I was crying because it was
but-
bad.
Oh, I was moaning because I was in pain.
If you go against our recommendation and do watch it, we do recommend multiple pausing sessions.
Yeah.
I think we can
Bathroom
all
breaks,
agree to
you're not
that.
gonna
I mean,
miss. You're not
Get
missing
up,
anything.
stretch, take a walk, come back.
Contemplate why you're watching this movie multiple times, and then you'll be on our level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then make sure you take 2 pages of notes as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the experience.
All right, so Tim, you are
Yes.
up, good sir, for the
I'm
flipper
up.
flick spinning of the wheel.
Let's do it.
All right, let's hear what he gets.
Done.
Clickety click, 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 and here we go. Box office bust.
Wow, another repeat.
Another repeat. I swear we have 8 categories. 4 of them just haven't shown up yet.
Yeah. So, well, remember when we said that this one wasn't going to be dethroned right away? It might.
So
For box
congrats,
office
Tim.
bust.
This was also a bust, by the way.
Shocker.
Shocker, I know. It made $1 million,
Okay.
and the budget was 10.
And
It did not actually
interesting.
bust as bad as you would expect.
Yeah.
But again, Guy Ritchie said that she was cheap and free.
So there's that.
Free, like, in her time, like, free time-wise, because she had just gotten off her concert tour.
Right.
Uh-huh. I'm just kidding.
I just don't think he liked his own wife
I
at
don't
the
think
time.
so either. We didn't even get to get into that. This one deserves like 3 episodes because we could talk about it forever, but
Oh gosh.
it is what it
Mm.
is. All right.
Anywho, well, you can catch us on Discord. Discord? Don't catch us on Discord.
He keeps
I
saying
don't know about
Discord,
the
and now you guys are going to go try to find us there. We are not there.
I'm hiding on it.
We are on Anchor and Spotify. Yep.
Yes, Anchor and Spotify.
And we are on Twitter and Instagram, so if you do decide to watch this movie, please tell us your opinions. We love talking about this
Yeah.
movie.
At Flipper Flicks. Well, thanks guys for watching.
Oh, God.